I want the world to know that Nnamdi Kanu is not facing any prosecution. Nnamdi Kanu is facing persecution. Persecution in the sense that since the history of law in Nigeria, it's well established that Nnamdi Kanu is the only defendant in the history of law in Nigeria that does not have adequate time and facility as provided by Section 36 of the Constitution, which gave an accused person right to have adequate time and facility to defend himself. What do I mean? You recall that some time ago, as his lawyer, when I went to have a discussion with him at the DSSS, my right was violated, I was intimidated, I was stripped to half naked there in DSSS. I rushed back to the Federal High Court and laid my complaint through originating processes. And after looking at all that happened, the court said yes, Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer's rights was violated, granted all my release, and directed the DSSS to apologize to us and stop intimidating us and to pay me 5 million naira. That particular judgment was not appealed against. That particular judgment is still subsisting and valid. Now, we took the same application to the same Federal High Court, stating the reasons why Nnamdi Kanu should be taken away from DSSS. DSSS is a prosecution. You don't need to have a law degree for you to know that you can never be a judge in your own case. The principle of Nemo Judicial Casasua. You can never be a judge in your own case. Anytime we went to DSSS to have a discussion with our client Nnamdi Kanu, the DSSS will set up gadgets, send the officials to come and monitor what we are saying. Right from the gate, they will search us. Whatever documents that the confidential documents that I'm going with to discuss with my client, they will collect it, take it to the legal department. The legal department will read it, photocopy it, before they will hand it over to us. Whatever minutes I collected from Nnamdi Kanu, as I'm coming out, they will collect it from me and snap it. So, in other words, there is no defense. And we have pleaded time without number that please, if you don't want to release him on bail, send him to Kuje Correctional Center. These are the people that we are trained on how to keep a suspect that is facing trial, and we call them awaiting trial suspects. If you go there, they apply professionalism. They will give you all the necessary materials, provide a secluded place for you to have a discussion with your client. Even those that have been accused of treasonable felony, those that have accused of terrorism, they never treated them like this. Not to talk about a freedom fighter, somebody that is fighting a just cause. Now we approach the same Federal High Court. The same Federal High Court refused to hear our application. I am talking about Honorable Justice Minta Nyako. Several applications has been made. In fact, one of them, he said that I'm not going to hear what happened in the other court. He said it. Now, on the last adjourned date, we are crying. Look at our predicament. Somebody that is going to face the trial. We are about to commence trial in line with the Supreme Court judgment. Can you direct these people? Can you direct that Nnamdi Kanu should be transferred to Kuje prison? He refused. She refused. She refused only to tell us that there is no security in Kuje prison. Quoting the judge. You pressmen were there on that day. Now, you are now telling us that if Nnamdi Kanu is convicted for whatever charge you have, is he going to serve the prison term at DSSS? The answer is no. Now, what it means is that the Captain Nnamdi Kanu there so that Nnamdi Kanu will not have a very fortified defense. This thing you must let the world know, because I saw one person, though I don't want to call him a journalist, because I know those who are journalists. He wrote in social media that Nnamdi Kanu don't want to face trial. These are our challenges. That one is on that. Remember that the Supreme Court also said, after admonishing the judge, I don't want to use the word after insulting the judge, I don't want to use it. I prefer to use the word after admonishing the judge, said that the judge ought not have revoked his bail. And in the first instance, in other words, impliedly, Supreme Court has reinstated that bail and asked the court to make the pronouncement. But that is where I have an issue, because you don't destroy our jurisprudence because of Nnamdi Kanu. Without Nnamdi Kanu, there must be Nigeria. With or without Nnamdi Kanu. So you don't, whatever thing that we are stating today is going to be a precedent. Now the question there is that what stops Supreme Court judges from exercising their power under Section 6 that gives them unlimited power to reinstate that bail? They referred us to Federal High Court. Now we went to Federal High Court as a surplusage to apply for the bail. The bail was rejected. Now we have now made fresh application asking the court to comply with the Supreme Court. Remember that time when I addressed you people, I told you that what happened in that court that day is an act of Federal High Court setting aside the judgment of the Supreme Court. You don't do it in our own judicial jurisprudence. Now, we have applied. We brought 2 applications now. Either you reinstate that his bail, take him to Kuje prison, or send him to a private house for house arrest. You can take him to Abia State Government House. You can take him to Abia State Liaison Office. You can take him to Imo State Government House. You can take him to Imo State Liaison Office. If you feel that it is even comfortable for you, Mr. Madam Judge, please, you can send him to your house so that you will be sure what we are talking about. Personally, and I have said it, and I have told Nnamdi Kanu, for the fact that you will be here, I have not prepared you for this trial. I, Maxwell Opera, will not come to defend you, because I don't defend people because I want to defend people. I defend people so as to get your own side of the story and advise you accordingly in line with the rules of my profession. I have not heard from Nnamdi Kanu. I have not advised him, and I want him to go and defend the first trial. First trial for what? So you people should. So what if the judge failed to reinstate his bail, send him to Kuje Correctional Center, send him to a private house for house arrest, then we are pulling out. You people should have it. We are not going to, so that not when we pull out on that day, you say that we abandon Nnamdi Kanu in court. No. Because the question my colleagues, everybody will ask me, when you are having these challenges, why do you still go ahead? It's just like where you are traveling, and they told you that their armed robbers are on the road, kidnappers are on the road. Instead of you to withdraw and probably suspend that travel, you continued. And when you died, everybody will blame you. That one is on that. Now, on the proscription of IPOB, I want to also use this medium to correct you media people, because we will begin to take legal action against you people. When you call IPOB an outlawed or proscribed IPOB, IPOB's proscription is being challenged. And once it's been challenged, you dare not call IPOB a proscribed organization. I am also using the case of Nnamdi Kanu and Federal Government of Nigeria, because when Nnamdi Kanu was ordered for his release, nobody released him. Nobody released him. So Federal Government held on him until they filed their notice of appeal. So it's been challenged. And I also enjoy you people. We have been able to raise it in black and white for you people so that it will be easy for you. IPOB is an organization registered there in Germany, registered there in almost all the whole countries in Europe, in America, and Asia, with people that are responsible. I'm talking about professors, I'm talking about reverend fathers, reverend pastors, I'm talking about captain of industries that are members. And IPOB has its own aims and objective. It's in black and white. What they are looking for is there. IPOB paid their dues. IPOB, they had their meetings. anytime they are going to have their meetings in all these countries, they normally apply, and federal government normally provides security for them, and they have their minutes. So that some persons are using the name of IPOB to commit crime, to commit terrorism, does not mean that IPOB is a terrorist organization. What do I mean? I'm a member of Nigerian Bar Association. If I use the name of Nigerian Bar Association to go and commit act of terrorism, that does not make Nigerian Bar Association a terrorist organization. In fact, for your information, if the NBA president, Mekau, who is the NBA president, #1 lawyer in Nigeria, use the name of our organization to go and commit a terrorism organization, that does not make NBA a terrorist organization. What makes you a terrorist organization is your aims and objective. That you refuse to register IPOB in Nigeria because of their personal animosity is not a grant for you to look at an association that is registered in a country that is more responsible than this country, and you call it a terrorist organization. So you people have to be very careful, because those of them in diaspora that are members of IPOB, they may take you on that. Finally, when Atlaw, the immediate past president, came into power to destroy this country, of course everybody knew that Buhari never come to rule the country. He came to fight. And when Jonathan discovered that he came to fight, he left power for him, and he misused that power. He never obeyed court orders. And we now take it from him that because of his mentality, because of his military background, now that we have a Democrat, I'm talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is a Democrat. I worked with him as a student during Nadeko, when my uncle, Professor Edward Oproji, was there. And we worked together. So we felt that as a Democrat he's supposed to reveal all the atrocities that is being committed by President Muhammad Buhari. Then, now, instead of him going by his renewed hope agenda to reveal all this, and said, no, when you are calling an organization that is not a terrorist organization in your country, you are destroying the country. And that was one of the worst acts and decisions taken by Buhari and the Attorney General of the Federation, Malami. The worst SAN I have ever seen in the whole world. Now, that you don't declare somebody, an organization in your own country, a terrorist organization, you are now impliedly telling people that you are a terrorist country, and the people should not come to invest. Nobody would like to come and invest in a terrorist country. If they ask you to go and invest in Afghanistan, you will not go. And they are simply because they want to clamp down IPOB. And the procedure for declaring an organization, terrorist organization, are being provided. You did not declare Miete Allah, herdsmen. You did not declare them terrorists. See now, IPOB that you know that never carried arms. IPOB that know that they are following everything procedurally. You now declared. So it is not late. People have been asking, what is the president doing? Mr. President, of course, I never believed in your administration based on your antecedent in Lagos as a governor. That's why I work against you. I voted against you. If opportunity for that is surface, I will still work against you. But now, you still have an opportunity to amend your ways. Look at all those decisions President Buhari took in respect of this Nnamdi Kanu matter and IPOB matter. Look at a way you can apply political solution. Of course, if all those things that gave rise to this particular agitation is being addressed, I don't think that there will be need for agitation. But as we have been going about lopsided appointments, taking decisions as if you are God, it will not solve that particular issue. You arrested Nnamdi Kanu, and somebody is somewhere also agitating. I'm talking about Simon Eba. You have now declared him wanted. Have you arrested him? What did the Finnish government told you when you asked them to repatriate him? So these are the issues you need to cool down and seek advice. The people that meant well for you, not all those people that are moving around you trying to pick one or two things. It will help you. Now, having said that, we are calling you, gentlemen of the press, and ask the federal government to comply with the order, and we're also calling the judge. Many people have said it that your conduct in the court that day shows that you are the judgment, the ruling you gave that day is not from you. That I'm talking about that half-page ruling. You gave that and dismissed all the whole applications. You should also reconsider the judicial affairs. You consider rule of law first, and for us to go forge ahead. Telling Mr. President, you have seen how somebody that was arrested, I'm talking about was Wadume, was arrested and he was released. We are talking about name them, Kabiru Soko them, name a lot of them that were released, not to talk about somebody that is fighting for the right of his people, simply because you feel that he's an Igbo and you think that you can intimidate him. No, nobody intimidates anybody, because after 8 years, after 4 years or 8 years, as the case may be, you will leave, another person will come. So try and do something so that you write your name in the Guinness Book of Record. As we speak to you now, we have not been able to have a conference with our client. That one is one. As a lawyer, my rules instructed me that for me to enter into a matter, I must have adequate conference with my client in line with the charges. And my client, while having that conference with him, I will make sure that my client is mentally stable and calm for him to tell me the area to go, and for me to advise him accordingly. That they will never have that opportunity. The reasons being that the prosecutor, the DSSS, one is frustrating our effort to that effect, so that they can prove their matter without being challenged, and then Nnamdi Kanu will be convicted. And we are saying that if Nnamdi Kanu, that opportunity was not given to Nnamdi Kanu, how the opportunity be given to him? Send him to Kuje Correctional Center. We have our reasons. You have a reasons to keep him in a DSSS. The reason that only you know. But we have our reasons. Where you, the court, has even confirmed that what we are saying is true. But going by the case of DSSS and Maxwell Opera. And we are not telling you that we cannot, either you transfer him to Kuje Correctional Center or you release him on bail, then you reinstated his bail as directed by the Supreme Court, or you send him to a private house for house arrest. And I gave instances: Abia State Government House, Imo State Government House, Enugu State Government House, any place that is, you are decent, or liaison offices. Or alternatively, because the judge can do anything under Section 6, you can remind him in your house. What we need is a place that will be free. He will look around. He will not be afraid of saying anything. He will be free to give us whatever thing. Because where you said A, and you said, is it true that you do this one? He said yes. You said, okay, we are not going to defend you on this one. You can plead guilty on this. I don't know whether you're getting what I'm saying. If so, we'll be able to advise him. That we have not done. And I'm telling you that if by the next adjourned date our applications are in, and they work with the prosecution and refuse that application, I said I don't know of others, cannot go into that trial, because it is against the rules of my professional ethics. Because if anything happened, I'll be held liable, because you are not prepared for trial and you put your client.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on whenever you are watching us from. It's another edition of Politics on the Street. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, share, comment for more political discourse. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, share, comment for more political discourse. Now, Mr. Tedu, the lawyer to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has come to say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not facing prosecution, rather he is facing persecution. He said By so doing, that it is likely there might dig up in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case because of what the Nigerian government has that the Nigeria judiciary has not been fair in handling the case. How can you ask this, sir?
You can see what what we are talking about is because he declared himself a Jew. Now the kind of declared himself a Jew right there in the court premises where he told them that I am a Jew, you know, and that has risen this consciousness of understanding where the persecution instead of prosecution is coming from. The Christian community, the Christianity started facing the concept of persecution right from the days of many centuries ago under the one that was very significant, talking about the Roman Empire, and that was where the name was crafted, you know, persecution. That is the angle, you know, the lawyer is talking about. And when the lawyer mentioned persecution, he's trying to tell you that, you know, Nnamdi Kanu as a Jewish man associated with Judaism, you know, that they have always faced persecution. So it is coming from that angle, because if it were to be something that is very has to do with the law, that means there is nowhere in the history of this world ab initio that you can find, you know, quest for self-determination to define the will of the people becomes a criminal act. It has never become it is never a criminal act, but because of they wanted the people as a presentation. Nnamdi Kanu is a presentation. Nnamdi Kanu is a representative. When God wanted to send Jesus Christ down to the earth, you know, God didn't need to come, you know, to the world, you know. He had to send a representation, you know, and the person, when he came to the world, we should understand the genealogy and the psychology and the ideology, you know, of the concept of reality. And that is what Nnamdi Kanu has stood over the years. Right from 2015, when he came up with the IPOB concept, powered by the United Nations, we know that it has to get to a level that the reality of what is on ground, what the law says, all over the world will be turned to persecution. So at this point now, when we begin to face such thing, we will now begin to know, you know, where actually did this thing started from. Christianity faced persecution, not prosecution. The moment under that regime, evil regime, of Northern Arab evil regime in Nigeria, the Igbo man, the Christianity, the Christian community in the Christendom, you know, in Nigeria has always faced persecution. That was why they have not at all deemed in defeat, you know, to give presidency to where we have Christendom in reality in Nigeria. I want to can represent that block. And coming out from where he is, the day I knew, he mentioned that I am a Jew. My religion is Judaism. And you know that Judaism gave birth to Christianity. Nnamdi Kanu took that stand. And those who feel that they have something not acceptable, for that now the only thing that we need to do against him is, you know, a persecution. Because if they have gone to that aspect of persecution, Nnamdi Kanu wouldn't have been where he is currently in a minute. Because it's not a criminal act. Can anybody, including the Nigerian government, come out and tell me where the will of the people is being represented has become a criminal act? Biafra is the will of the people. And I don't know how that transcends to criminal act. Persecution is associated with elements who are against the kingdom of Christianity. And that is what Nnamdi Kanu represents. And that is why he is there. But Nnamdi Kanu is here not because of the law, but because of who he is and who he is. He is a Christian. Imagine what the history of Nigeria, how Nigeria was coupled, that Nigeria became a Christian community, the Igbo land becomes a Christian community. Not even Nigeria. Nigeria is out of it. We don't need to be talking about Nigeria. And that was why at a certain point, when the life of persecution of the Christian started in 1953, I'm talking about the killing of the Igbos as far back as 1953, the northern and the Arab hegemony, instead of common interest, started destroying, killing, persecuting, and the Christian community, our Christians who have found themselves as a result of adventure, mobility of migration of human beings, and started killing them. On to the point that we have the reality on ground, and in 1967, Colonel Odumegwu Ojukwu, declared a sovereign nation for the people who are being persecuted. On that rise, the elements who see that as a threat to their hegemony, it was not common human interest, hegemony, threatened, and the whole world fought Biafra for over how many years, 4 or 5 years or thereabout, and the war is still going on psychologically up to this moment. So if you calculate it from 1967 to this period, it tells you the number of years Igbo man, the Christian kingdom, in Nigeria, what they are currently going through. Nnamdi Kanu represent that block.
But sir, now his lawyers have come out to say that it is likely that they give up in the Nigerian judicial, because he said that the system has not been fair to them.
Well, how can the system be fair? Because the system is being manipulated. I keep on asking how independent Nigerian judiciary is, and we saw it play out clearly, after the 2023 presidential election, which was being alleged or believed or claimed that by Nigerians themselves, by the electors themselves, by the voters themselves, saying that this is not who we voted for, and we voted for P2B, and we saw Bola Ahmed Tinubu coming to make it very clearly to the whole world that he bought his way to the presidency, and that if care is not taken, in 2027, he will remove Yakubu Mahmoud and bring a Yoruba man that will give him victory. What does that tell you? That the independent electoral commission of Nigeria is not independent. The judiciary is not independent. So what it means that there is unseen forces controlling these institutions of democracy. So where are we? Where are we? And this is the same thing they are transferring to Igbos, to Biafrans, to Christian kingdom in Nigeria. Unfortunately, the religious leaders in this country who are supposed to be defensive and stand against the threats of those who does not even deserve to stand up against the representatives and the people who are going to present to the world the kingdom of God. When God sent Jesus Christ of Nazareth to the earth as a representative, Jesus presented Christianity to the whole world. The concept of Biafra was presented, whether they like it or not. Biafra is an ideology and a spirit nobody can tamper with. It has come. It has become a reality. And I thank God it is finding its way. It is spreading into the consciousness. It is going beyond the Nigerian factor. It's moving towards West Africa. It's advancing to African continent. It's even making inroads in the West and the Asian world. The Russians attacked and persecuted the Christians. The Russian Soviet Union was as a result of agitation, came into existence as a result of agitation. America came into existence as a result of agitation. Then why would the whole world say to be looking the other way when a black man want to rise Africa? And that black man is Nnamdi Kanu. That's what we are talking about. Anywhere you take it to anywhere, we do not care to go because the unity is connected to what we are doing.
Now, Nnamdi Kanu would be having a course on the 23rd of next month. Now, what do you think he might likely be granted bail, or he might still continue in the incarceration?
Nnamdi Kanu is a political activist and a Christian activist as well. You know, those are the two qualities. I can personally qualify him. You know, he understands the genesis of what is happening, and he saw it very clearly. You know, there's aim for liberation, and there's aim for emancipation, and there's need, you know, to transform the African mentality from where they find themselves to the next level, and the drive has started. We have over 250 categories or concept or principles before they can break into the security of the made up IPOB to take the whole world. The Nigerians 250 years to break in. It's which is not possible. You cannot. You don't know the genesis. You don't know the beginning of the indigenous people of Biafra. The Biafran concept is as old as the world. I can tell Nnamdi to continue to make reference about me and still repeating it. I'm not hiding it. I'm not hiding it. It's not about, you know, making mockery. This is not about mockery. The rise of the African continent starts with the liberation of the oldest kingdom on earth. And that is what Nnamdi Kanu represents. That oldest kingdom on earth is the genealogy that gave birth to Christianity and Judaism, of which Nnamdi Kanu represents. So there's no going back. The reality is already there, whether they like it or not. Yes, you can see that there was a war where Igbos lost over 7 million Pashokot children. You know, we have picked our pieces. Yes, the Igbos. And when I'm talking about the Igbos, Biafra is a colony that houses over 250 ethnic nationalities. In Iraq, we have over 300 ethnic nationalities, spearheaded by the Kurds in Iraq. You can go and find out yourself. In America, we have 13 colonies, spearheaded by one man, George Washington. These are the people at every point in time they were charged with treasonable felony. We have seen countries. Why is it that the world, the black man, does not want the black continent, Africa, to rise?
Why is it that the black man does not want the black continent, Africa, to rise? Thank you for that wonderful submission, Mr. J. Michael. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, share, comment for more political discourse.